to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
What's up, Top Model fans? I am here with Mike Scocozza tonight.
Hey.
We're holding down the fort, and we're going to talk about Top Model Cycle 21. We're getting down to the wire, the final 7.
Final 7.
Can you believe it already?
No, I can't. I
and
can't.
It is a double whammy this week, a Style Fashion Week challenge on the runway, and a photo shoot challenge where they're paired up yet again.
It was another exciting episode. Oh my
Yes.
God, there's so much going on. I'm loving it.
Yes, and I could do without all the drama in the house, but I know a lot of people out there like to watch it and get involved.
They love the drama.
And what's going on with Mariana and Denzel week to week.
Bum.
So in this episode, we see that she finally comes clean to her boyfriend, sort of.
Well, that was the one before. Where
Oh.
come on, you're getting confused
I
here.
watched 2 in a row, I have to be honest.
That's what happens when you double
That's
up.
what happens.
Yeah.
Okay, so last week she talked to her boyfriend, and this week...
off starting the episode. They're done. They start off off. They start off.
So they're kind of, sort of broken up, but they're still in the same house.
Right.
And then, they kind of managed to make amends.
They always do.
Because they just wanted to cuddle again.
Yeah.
Or,
whatever they do.
Cuddle. Or
whatever they do. ...
I
think
who
keep
knows?
it PG. We'll keep it PG here.
Yeah. It's up to your imagination, I guess.
Right. But we start off they were coming off of the Corey bot shoot.
Yes.
My boy Corey.
Corey did a great job.
Killed
He
it.
was the perfect robot man hybrid.
Androgynous robot. That was my androgynous robot voice.
Androgynous robot.
Androgynous robot.
Well, he did a really good job of working with that silver makeup, and it kind of reminded me of the Tin Man from The Wizard of Oz in a way.
Yeah, I get that vibe a little bit.
It's like a modern version of that. Maybe it's because it's getting ready to be Halloween, and I've been looking at ideas, and I love The Wizard of Oz. I'm not going to be the Tin Man, but
okay.
Anyway.
But yeah, we were saying how that was a great shoot, style-wise, stylistically, visually. We all really loved the concept of that shoot. I thought it was great. And Lennox won Best Photo 2 weeks in a row. 3
weeks in a row.
I thought it was only 2.
No, and she was looking for a 4th this week.
I think it was only 2.
Okay, it was the one with the bathtub with the robot, Corey. And then before that, she had Best Photo for the ice, I think.
Yeah, right, the ice.
And then there was one more in between the 2, I thought.
Well, there was another one earlier.
Okay, but
so it wasn't in a row.
Maybe not in a row, but 3 this season.
Oh yeah, she's
so
crushing
far.
It. Yeah. So she's going for 3 in a row this season.
You know
this
what's
episode.
really interesting about Lennox? I feel like when you look at her, she kind of is more understated, like pretty girl next door, very cute. And all of a sudden, when you put makeup on her face and you put her in front of a camera and put her in a couture, all of a sudden she just has it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that's almost something that can't even be taught.
No, it's definitely a thing. I mean, from experience, it's some people just have that.
And
whatever you want to call it. Well,
the it factor. The
it
magic.
takes a little more work with me, let's be honest. But some of them, they just got it like that.
Well, Lennox has it, and it's very interesting to see her transform. And sometimes she does struggle with her confidence, but usually she can come out on top. Oh, and she had the best photo for the picture when she only had 5 frames.
The 5 frames, yeah.
Yes. And she got it in like 2 or 3.
Right. She got like the 2nd frame.
She knows how to work that hair. I love her hair. I'm jealous of the hair, I have to say.
Yeah?
My hair's
the length or the darkness or the color?
The length and the healthiness and the way it shines and flows.
Yeah.
Speaking
of which, let's not jump ahead, but it was a hair shoot this week.
Oh. I mean, I thought she had that in the bag.
You'd think so.
But, we'll see what happens. But she is killing it.
Crushing it. And again, though,
she's the one to beat, I think.
they're not showing who they pick for the Tyra suite. They did like the first 2 episodes, but again, when we open the episode, they don't show who she picks, and I don't know why they're not doing that again.
Oh, okay. I thought yes, because
they at the end of the panel, you get best picture, you get to go in, you win the Tyra suite, and then you get to pick somebody to go with you. So she won a panel again. We open up. They're coming back, and they didn't show who she picked.
But I thought it was Ray, Leah, and Shy because then they got to work with Miss J on the runway walk. So it was the 2 girls.
Maybe it was.
Yes.
So Miss J came into the house.
She left Mariana out of that because she knew where Mariana wanted to go.
Smash time.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. So Miss J, speaking of him, he shows up with this onesie pajama outfit to the house. This is why Mike is wearing his onesie.
It's a little hard to see because I'm sitting, but I am rocking a onesie today in honor of Miss J.
Yes.
Love you, Miss J.
Would Miss J prefer to be called she?
She.
Okay. My apologies. When Miss J shows up, she is wearing a fabulous onesie and rollers, the Velcro rollers in her hair.
The rollers are cracking me up,
Oh, I love it. But at first, when they go to commercial, they're like, "Who's in the house? Who's coming to the door? This is crazy. Is it a serial killer? What's going on?"
I'm sure it's a serial killer coming to get them.
In
that's
footed
what it
pajamas.
is. Right.
Yeah, I don't think so. It was Miss J, and she was there to work on the runway walk, and that was what the girls in the Tyra suite got to have. The rest of the people in the house.
It seemed like they kind of all got on board with it.
Okay.
Especially at the end, they had that little runway. We had the same thing. We had a little platform runway in the house.
In the living room?
Yeah, and everybody got up and started walking it. I thought it was hilarious when she's trying to get everybody to loosen up, and trying to get Lennox to shake her ass, and she just wouldn't do it.
She wouldn't do the twerk.
Loosen up, girl. Loosen up. Come on.
She is really young, and so I get it. She might be just kind of afraid of it, but she'll
Listen,
get there.
you get Miss J giving you advice, trying to help you out there. You gotta absorb it.
Maybe she'll get to that point in a few episodes. I hope
so.
I think she'll get out of her shell more and more.
Listen, I'm just saying, as someone who's been on the show, you know what? Have fun with it. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Let loose. It's a once in a lifetime sort of thing. Just have some fun with it.
You never know how many weeks you're gonna be there.
Right. You never do.
And it's not quite a week. I'm sure
it's not. We actually discussed this before.
Okay. Yeah. Challenge day, photo shoot day, judging day.
There's an interview day in between, so it's 4 days, and then you start the cycle over again.
Okay. Okay. So each episode.
FYI, so everybody knows.
So it's not quite 7 days. There's really more like 4 days.
Right.
So you're really if you're there the whole time, so it's probably about a month and a half.
It's about 2.5 months actually.
Oh, longer than I thought.
Because when you travel, it takes time.
I forgot it. Yes, and
we'll keep jumping ahead here because it's coming up. This is an action-packed episode.
About the episode, guys. I know you are out there too, and they get to the first challenge.
Right. Well, Miss J was there because getting people ready for Fashion Week. They're going to be doing go-sees for Fashion Week.
Now, this is LA's Fashion Week as it is now.
Correct.
However, Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week used to be out in Los Angeles a few years back. More than a few. The last season that they did was the spring 2009 shows were the last Mercedes-Benz shows, but they used to be run by the same people that do New York Fashion Week. So it was a little different before, but I'm really excited that Betsey Johnson came to LA to show because that brings it to another level.
Whole nother energy, whole nother vibe, whole nother prestigiousness, whatever you want to call it.
Prestigiousness?
Prestigiousness. Did I say it wrong?
I like that. I like that word. I don't know.
It gives a little more credibility to it.
It does. Right. It raises the bar. And Betsey Johnson has always been about having fun on the runway. Her show, I actually got to come to one of her anniversary shows and watch it. I don't remember. I hope I get this right. I feel like I want to say it was 20 years of Betsey Johnson. Might have been more, but it was only back in I want to say 2010.
It was in LA or it was in New York?
In New York. And I got to watch all the girls go down the runway. And Betsey Johnson, if you guys don't know this, at the end of every single one of her fashion shows, she does a cartwheel. That's her signature. She's always done it at the end of her show every single time.
You know what? I don't really watch Dancing with the Stars a whole lot, but I caught her on there a little bit. She was moving. She got some moves.
Yes, I was really impressed with her.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is she still on right now?
She got kicked off a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Not too long ago.
Because I watched some of the first episodes when she was on there, and she's so cute. She said she finally felt really beautiful. And I think she's used to feeling just kind of cute and fun, but she felt really beautiful dancing. So that makes me really happy.
You go, Betsey.
Yes.
Go.
Betsey, you're just eternally youthful. And I love her spirit. I got to go to her casting one time in New York. I didn't get it, but that's okay because I got to meet her. And at the casting, she had little bowls of candy for the models, like Twizzlers.
Don't feed the models.
No, she wanted us to have candy. Like Tyra. She's like, I like when models eat. Don't starve, don't starve. Which is good because during Fashion Week, it's very focused on what you're putting into your body.
I feel people kind of live off of energy drinks and lots of other caffeine is what we live off of during Fashion Week.
Yeah, well, I hope not. I hope you have some protein
I
somewhere.
don't drink the energy drinks. You know, they're just not good for you. They're not good for you.
I can't handle it.
I
already
coffee,
have too much energy as it is.
Yeah, you'll be doing cartwheels down the runway.
No, I will. And so we have Betsey Johnson, Control Sector, Civil Society, and I hope I get this right, Altaf Manisha. These 4 designers are casting models for their shows, and they've already cast most of the other girls and
probably
guys.
Most of the show, yeah.
And so they just have a few spots left that they need to fill.
I will say, I walked in Civil Society. They didn't show me, but I was there. Thanks for cutting me out.
Oh.
Yeah.
They
put Kiara on. Like, come on.
You would think they would show you since you were just on the show.
You know, you would think so, huh?
Hello.
But that was a fun show. It was fun. That's actually when I met most of the guys from the show for the first time, working with them.
So Kiara from Cycle 19, she was there this week as well.
Yeah, there were a lot of alums there. I know Jordan. Oh my God, I forgot her name. Jordan from Cycle 20 was there working a lot. I don't know if they showed her or not. There were a few others actually too. I can't remember off the top of my head.
I think they were just showing who happened to be in the shows that they were a part of.
Right. Renee from Cycle 20 was there. So there's quite a few of us. It's a little crew there nowadays.
Yeah. It's kind of like if you hang out at Style Fashion Week LA, you probably will run into some of the America's Next Top Model team.
Probably, most likely.
And I was there this week. Side note, Miss J and Yusai were in the front row of one of my fashion shows, and I was like, ah! I wanted to like wave at them, and of course I couldn't, because then they would have been like, what are you doing?
You'd be like, you're the girl that waved at me.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. You don't want to get on the wrong side of Miss J. No. Like Raylia. She did something a little weird on the runway. We'll get to that. But they have this casting, and it's cool because each designer gets to look at the model's walks sort of one-on-one. And I love how each designer had a chance to talk about what they want in their walk.
It's rarely, now, you know, you've probably done more than I have. You definitely have done more than I have. But I'm just saying, it's rare that you sort of get that opportunity with a designer. Usually it's a very generic kind of shuffle them in sort of process.
Well, you kind of have a go-to model walk that you can just do for anyone.
Right.
But sometimes they'll say, keep it simple, which means not too many hip movements, you know, no hands on the hips at the end of the runway. But then you have Betsey Johnson, who wants the hips and wants the poses and wants the,
dramatics,
blowing,
the flair.
Blowing the kisses to the crowd and the cameras. And she really wants people to have a good time and smile. And it's very rare that you get to smile in a fashion show. So
yeah, very true.
Her show's got a whole new energy to it. And so Shy and Raylia get to walk for Betsey Johnson. Right. And then they have a casting for Control Sector.
Well, one of the guys too.
Oh, that's right.
The fireman.
I
we
almost
have one
forgot.
Fireman. You can't forget.
She had already cast one fireman, and they needed one more. So they looked at the men. Of course, they had to walk with their shirts off.
Of course.
Because that was what they were going to wear in the show, just suspenders with pants.
That's the look. That's the fireman look.
I guess so. It's like fireman calendar. Why not? But Keith wins that spot.
You know what? I think Keith deserved to win that spot. I think he fit the look the best. I think he had the most fun with it.
Well, and he looked different from the other firemen they had already chosen. He
did, yeah.
So I think they were kind of going off of that vibe of what they already had, and he paired up nicely.
Yeah.
And
I got no beef with that. Good choice there, Betsey.
You got no beef with Betsey. Heavens to Betsey Johnson. It's just what I like to say for fun. I had to say it. So next, Control Sector. Now they're a very modern, edgy line.
Very.
And they do a lot of just black and white with
feels
bold
like a very
prints.
LA line to me.
It's very cool. It's very cool LA girl and guy. And they actually had all men fashion show except they wanted one female model who they're actually going to put men's clothes on. They wanted her to be that cool girl that's just...
I love that look. I gotta say, I love that look. The girl rocking the guy's stuff. It's sexy.
Because you know what? sometimes going to the men's section of the store for like a scarf or a hat is much better than the women's.
Really?
So like, yeah, I actually have gotten a couple scarves from the men's section of H&M, and I feel like they're a little bit nicer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I actually have a few H&M scarves. They are nice.
Just a little plug for H&M. But you know, they were looking at the male models and the female models, and they had one spot, and it went to Shy.
Shy rocked it.
Yes, and I think
they also picked Adam and Will for the guys,
which is interesting because Adam and Will are pretty opposite with what their looks are. You know,
very opposite. Yeah.
Will is very editorial, and Adam, he can do editorial, but he's more, I think, commercially appealing.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair to say.
Well, but I think they both have ability to go either way in their pictures, but I'm just saying that's kind of the spectrum that they usually would be cast in. But I like that they are both in the show, and I love that Will was able to, you know, do the more masculine
redeem
look.
himself a little bit from that first one.
Yeah, well, it's fine if you want to show a little bit more femininity. I mean, there's going to be designers that ask that of you.
100%.
But it was cool that he could go there.
Right.
And I thought that was
versatility,
really,
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to be able to see that from somebody.
Especially as a dancer, and we get to this later too. Tyra talks about his isolation of his body. So he's getting there with how to move on the runway in a more masculine way. And then we have Civil Society, which is all menswear.
All menswear.
They only had 3 spots, even though there were 4 male models left on Top Model this week. And they all did a walk for the designer, and then they tried on the clothes. And, you know, it came down to fit and, you know, the look. And poor Denzel, he did not book either of the 2 menswear shows or the Fireman.
No. 0 for 3. 0 for 3.
And I was surprised because even though Keith was a good choice for Betsey Johnson, Denzel does have that really like manly fireman thing going on. So I thought he would at least have gotten that.
Something, yeah.
But he didn't book any shows. And I didn't realize until this episode later on when he was standing next to a different contestant that I thought was a little bit shorter. Maybe he's just not quite as tall as he seems on TV. Because with a runway show, you're looking for a lot of things, but also height comes into play.
Right. But I mean, he's taller than Adam. Adam's the shortest by far.
Oh, okay.
So.
Okay. And Adam booked both of the shows.
Yeah.
So I think it just came down to fit with the jackets, and Denzel, of course, is more muscly. And
they seem to be harping on that now all of a sudden. They didn't really bring it up early, even though they say they did.
They say, well, we were telling you, Denzel, you could just do more cardio and less weights, and you would have slimmed down by now. And it's like, first of all, you're telling him this as a woman. It's different working out as a woman than as a guy.
100%.
And he's used to working out in a certain way, and I'm sure he was doing a lot of push-ups. And
yeah.
Of course, that works out your arms.
I mean, listen, when we're there, you don't really have time to do anything. You're on set. We're on set for 15, 16 hours a day. You don't see all of that, obviously, but we're there. We're gone for a long time. So we're never there to work out. I mean, and the few moments you have, you're like, I just want to relax.
I just want to go to sleep.
Yeah, or sleep. Because you never get to do it right. I mean, you want us to look good. We got to get some sleep here.
Yeah.
So, and plus, it's like when you're in the house there, it's not like there's a track around the house. I mean, you're confined to a pretty small area, so I don't know where they expect him to just start running.
And then Tyra started talking about, well, that house is pretty big. You could do laps back and forth in the house.
Okay.
Like you're gonna run in the house?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I you know, it's kind of like how they had Dawn last season. It's like each time, Dawn, you got to beef up. Since 3 days ago, you haven't beefed up anymore. What's going on? It's like, well, first of all,
3 days? That's unhealthy to expect.
You don't give us any weights to work out with. So, you know, what are you expecting us to do? Oh, you can do push-ups and body weight stuff. It's like, listen, anybody who knows anything about working out and putting on size and mass and muscle, you know, it takes time. It's a process.
I think it's about time for Top Model to bring in a trainer to be in the house.
That'd be amazing.
Because when they want them to change a little bit, that's fine. But then you need someone there to kind of watch over their nutrition and what they're...
Everyone, listen, I can only speak for Cycle 20.
Okay.
Everyone ate like crap. Especially the girls. The girls are the worst. They ate nothing but pasta and candy, stuff you should not be eating. You know, the guys were honestly better than the girls at eating.
Always. I have to say that's true in my life. I go for the crazy food. Well, when it's there on set and it's spread out on the table,
well, true.
It's hard to avoid because it's right in front of you.
But even at the house when we would go grocery shopping, you can buy, we can buy food, but they buy junk. I'm like, what are you doing here?
Because a lot of them are pretty young.
They also don't know how to cook. Actually, I ended up cooking for most of the people when I was in the house because most people don't know how to cook.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Man of many talents.
What can I say? I will say though that as from a guy perspective, I wish. When I'm at the gym, when I'm with my guys, and we're kind of getting into it, we're talking. It's a very honest, safe environment. So you start talking. I think it would be great if they had a gym set up where you could show people working out, getting into it. You know what I mean? Like,
and then still a lot talk of shit to goes each down. Other.
Yeah.
In the house, and you can even be talking about the other people.
Right, exactly. Like,
why not?
It's just another dimension. I think it would be great to have.
Yeah, I mean, they have these great big houses. You'd think they could kind of set up a gym area at least.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have to be a big area. It could just be weights and
a bench, some free
treadmill,
weights. Yeah.
And an elliptical machine and a bike. And then, well, for me, I would like to have a ballet bar.
We can accommodate that, I'm sure.
But I'm not going to be working out in the Top Model house. I'm just saying. They might want to have that. And then, of course, the last designer was casting just for women.
Women only.
And I was surprised that he picked all 4 girls.
Yeah, they kind of...
I thought that was kind of a cop-out. Like,
I think so, too.
You should have at least made it just 3. Because what happens with designers a lot of the time is instead of having the girls change clothes, like they could have just picked 2 girls and had one dress in the beginning of the show and one dress at the end. They're like, they can each wear a dress.
Right.
They each have one look. Especially if, it didn't matter as far as the show was concerned with the budget.
When you're walking, do you like to have multiple looks or do you only want to have one look?
It depends.
Okay.
If it's a fashion show where everybody else has 3 outfits and I only have one, I feel kind of left out.
Fair enough, yeah.
But if you're all getting paid the same thing, at this point, it's like, oh, I don't mind if I just have one outfit. Less work for me.
True. It is pretty nuts, like getting off stage, throwing all your clothes off, changing.
I don't mind doing the fast changes. I actually find it like exciting because I'm like, I can do it. And then I run to like my dresser and I'm like, okay, necklace, take the necklace off, earrings, shoes. Okay, where's the next? I need the pants. Yeah.
I need the pants.
Okay, yeah.
That's my struggle every morning.
One leg at a time. I need all the help I can get. But yeah, I do like the fast changes. It is exciting. And if it's a big deal show and there are a lot of looks, I do want to have more outfits so I can get more pictures out of it.
Right.
But, they recently had a Donna Karan's anniversary show, 30th anniversary, out in LA because she showed this collection in New York. It was the fall 2014 collection, and they showed it again like in partnership with a charity.
Okay.
And I got to do the same show that they did in New York.
Oh, nice.
And everybody pretty much had one outfit. So there were a lot more models.
Right.
Than usual. Usually I think they hire about 15 girls if it's all women's show, and then they'll show 2 outfits each. So it'll be like a 30-look show.
Mm-hmm.
And this one had, I think, more pieces because it was such a special collection for her. Some of her signature pieces for all seasons. And yeah, it was really fun, and I only had one outfit, so I was like, why does this show seem like it's longer? Oh, because I don't have to run and change. I'm not fast and furiously changing.
Right.
But then, okay, so when we get to the runway show, we see that Shai does really well at adapting her walk on the runway for each designer,
right.
Which I love to do, so I was really proud of her.
Is that your, I love to do dance?
I have to dance because
Yeah, Shai crushed it. This was her week here.
She was a woman after my own heart. I really
loved it.
Because Runway is my favorite. It's no secret. My name on Twitter is the Runway Queen, and Instagram. So, of course, I love the fashion shows the most. And so I love to see her really coming into her own this week.
Yeah.
I think she's gotten stronger and stronger throughout the competition. And at first, when they dyed her hair that blonde and black, I was like, what are they doing? Are they trying to, like, sabotage Shai? Because that's kind of a difficult thing to work with.
It's very difficult,
but
I would imagine.
she's making it work. From another show. That's anyway. For Betsey Johnson, she had the sassy attitude. For Control Sector, she was more manly, if that's
a little tougher kind of look to it. A little
mean
mugging. Yeah.
And then for Altaf Manisha, she was a little bit more elegant.
Elegance. I was just gonna say elegant. Damn, we're on the same page today.
Okay, and then So she really was able to transform.
Loved it. Loved it.
She was what we call a chameleon of the runway. And Raylia did really well in the Betsey Johnson show.
She rocked the Betsey Johnson show.
And then, now, she really did well in the other show, too.
Except
she did not walk all the way down, because I think she got bad direction, honestly, because someone backstage was saying, stop 3 feet before the end of the runway for the pictures.
You think so?
It's not. I heard that on the episode. It's not 3 feet.
She was definitely more than 3 feet.
She was, yeah.
She was almost looked like halfway. I get it if you've never done it before, and you're like,
I wanted to see like a bird's eye view of that. Like, how far did she really go down?
The aerial copter view, the Channel 9 news team down here to get a picture of this.
Can I please see what happened with Raylia? I think it was mostly just nerves. You know?
Yeah, I think so too. I think so.
But at least
she worked it.
At least when she posed, it was a beautiful pose, and she still got, she sold that dress. But what Tyra was saying is, it's really important to go to your mark, because you want to really give the photographers a chance to get those
and then
pictures.
it also messes with the tempo of the show, right? You want it to have a nice flow to it.
And also, I noticed during these shows, at least for this week at Style Fashion Week, the runway is so long, which is a good thing. But when you send the girls out, don't tell them to take their time, because it's a long runway and the show gets too tedious to watch.
You have to be aware too, as a model going down, like if you see somebody walking slower, walking faster, slightly adjust what you're doing
to match the other person.
To match it, because there's nothing worse when you're going and you see two people like coming close together. You're like, no, just wait, just you got to kind of get a vibe and a feel for the show.
Well, it should pretty much go with the music.
Right. Well, it should in theory, but it doesn't always do that.
But sometimes they say, well, the music's going to be a little bit slower, but still have energy, but don't go too fast.
Right.
But as a model, that comes with experience of knowing how to interpret everybody's direction.
And it's a fine line you're kind of walking,
Literally. Literally, you're walking the line. And then Lennox and Mariana only do that one show that I was just talking about with Raylia. And Mariana, she kind of surprised me this week, because she has that attitude. She's sassy, but then she started walking and she was so quiet when she walked.
It didn't come through in the walk.
She was like a wallflower.
Yeah.
And then Lennox, she actually had that really cool girl walk, and I was surprised that
it's good.
I think if it were different designers casting this week, she would have gotten all the shows, because she has definitely like more of a New York girl walk.
Yeah, I
because
get that.
Betsey Johnson is very sassy and Lennox is not that.
No.
And then Civil Society was looking for like a kind of a, masculine girl.
Control Sector.
Yeah, sorry. Civil Society, Control Sector, they're both C and S. And I got
It happens. Honest mistake.
Yes. So Control Sector was looking for that more masculine woman to give off that energy, to be able to pull off menswear.
And like you said, Shy played that perfectly.
Was perfect for, especially because their line was a lot of black and white, and her hair was perfect for it. I'm like,
it's kind of worked out there.
Yeah. But I think a lot of designers like Marc Jacobs, Calvin Klein would love Lennox.
Love it. Oh, yeah.
She's that kind of girl. So, yeah, I think it also just depends on the market.
100%. Yeah. And I think that's something people need to realize when you're watching the show, guys. You need to take that all into consideration.
Yeah, not every model is right for every designer.
Show. Right.
And that's a beautiful thing. I mean, there's a lot of models out there who have a great fashion show season and are top girls, and they don't walk for everyone because it's just not right for that collection. And you might be right for that designer another season.
Right.
But what they're showing is not you.
Right.
And
people need to realize it's a very subjective industry, and you're looking for something very specific, and it really comes down to you are or you aren't.
Well, you're just looking at how to sell your collection the best way at this time.
Right. It's nothing personal. Don't take it personal.
Am I forgetting one of the models? Because I feel like I've written everyone down, but I don't know if I missed someone, but that's okay. We'll get to that later. Oh, Adam. We already covered Adam.
Yeah, we got Adam.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So then after the fashion shows, Shy is the winner of that challenge.
Crushed it.
Far and away was better. I mean, she really knew how to change her look and even her face.
Yeah.
For each designer. And
she almost had like a Corella DeVille kind of look with the Betsey Johnson, with the hair and the outfit.
And that red-orange faux fur jacket.
Yeah.
And the fishnet tights. I'm like, wow, rare. Loved it. And So we get to the photo shoot.
Photo shoot.
Boom. They pair everyone up, and this is the same photographer as the water shoot.
Eric Elsla.
Eric Elsla.
Elsla, yeah.
And he did he do the shoot last week as well?
He did the
robot one and the water one.
He did another one recently. I think it was the robot one.
So he's back again, and he's shooting them as a pair to do a hair
It's for
campaign.
Mitch Stone Hair. I got to plug Mitch Stone Hair.
Mitch Stone Hair.
Love you, Mitch. I actually use Mitch's products. They're phenomenal. So,
well, your hair looks healthy and shiny.
I just washed it today.
Oh.
It's very soft right now.
Cleaned up.
I'm feeling very comfy tonight.
That's good. So Mitch Stone Hair.
Right.
What sets his brand apart from the other brands?
He says he infuses everything with vitamins and minerals. I honestly, I'm not even just saying this because people, I'm like trying to plug it, but like people compliment you, like your hair's so soft and like fresh looking. I'm like, Mitch does me up.
I want some of that.
It's good stuff. So yeah, they're shooting a campaign for him.
Allegedly.
They'll probably use.
It's a website picture, which is cool. But whenever they say they're shooting a campaign, I wonder if people out there know what that's supposed to mean. A campaign is like the page in the magazine and the billboard and the TV commercial and the website and social media. And it's also like in other countries sometimes.
And you get a trip to Disney World. And I don't know.
You feel like you won something if you get a campaign.
Winning.
Yeah, the couple times that I've had the chance to do that, I'm like, oh, I can't believe you picked me. What? Because there was a long time where I didn't get one. I'm getting personal tonight, not to get too.
Dig in.
Anyway, so it's
something for me. Just probably a website.
Ad.
Yeah. It's an ad.
But I like that they use the word campaign because I think they wanted them to give that sort of energy to it.
Right.
That I get why they said it. And I'm just kind of hoping that they might pay the models if they're going to use their pictures online, or maybe it's just
you
kind of...
You sign your life away when you do that show.
You're like, well, whatever pictures you take, they have the right to use them anywhere.
100%. Yep.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess if you know that going in, then there's no problem.
Right. Well, you just can't complain it. You signed a contract, so...
Well, and it's such a big opportunity that you shouldn't worry too much about it.
No, and then, for sure.
I'm just curious, that's all. So
that's the way it works.
Thanks for clearing that up, Mike.
Yes.
Thank you. So they're paired up, a guy and a girl for each team. And first up is Will and Raylia.
Were they first? Did they go first?
Well, if they're not first, I apologize. But they're first on my mind.
Because they rocked that.
They rocked the heck out of it. And at first, I think each guy was having more trouble picking up the girls than they would like to admit.
Well,
because they're not... Like, Will has the advantage because he's a dancer, and I'm sure he's done pairs dancing where he's had to lift.
Well, he made an interesting comment because he's like, listen, I can pick her up, but I don't think she knows how to be picked up.
Yeah, she doesn't.
So it's a yin and a yang, if you could say,
When you are lifted, you have to kind of come into it.
Have you done this before, like on a shoot and stuff?
I was in a musical in high school. I'm not a singer. I was like dancing in the background and singing in a group.
Okay.
But that's what I wanted to do. I was into the dancing thing. So anyway, we were doing this swing dance and I had to be lifted. And so I'm not really an expert because that only happened once with the lift. I danced for years, but that was the one time I had the lift happen. But I do know what he's talking about.
Right, okay.
Because you definitely do need to know where the dance partner is going to put their hands and how to like lean in and like put your body weight in a certain way to be lifted. And I think they got the shot because Will talked to her about it.
Once they kind of figured it out and worked it out, yeah, they knocked it out of the park.
But I think it's easier when you're already moving to lift someone up.
Oh, yeah.
And to be lifted because you're already like dancing and you can kind of prepare as you're moving to do that. But from standing still, it is more difficult and wearing heels.
Right. And it wasn't like, okay, like squat down and get on my shoulders. I'm just going to lift you up. It was kind of awkward positioning, too.
And I thought, I get it. I get why they wanted to do it that way because it's an interesting challenge for the guys. But I feel like if this were happening in the real world, so to speak, they might have some other kind of like stool or prop for them to like lean their knee on or something, and then you can like Photoshop it out.
Little trick of the trade here. Yeah. I'm sure they would do that. But visually, conceptually, I thought it looked great.
It did.
Yeah.
I just think for a lot of these campaigns, they would have had like a green screen and then a
couple apple boxes down
green box or something to. Just because we're not all dancers, we need help. Sitting there for a long time, but they managed to pull it off. Most of them, I know. Ray Leah is interesting to me. I think some weeks she really sells it for me, and some weeks I am not a fan.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, and I really like her as a person. I think she's really cool. I think she's a good model. So I'm not saying this in a negative way. I'm just saying sometimes she looks more like a model than others. Sometimes she just looks like a pretty girl.
Yeah, it's a fair statement.
Yeah. And I think that's just because she's still learning how to angle her face and angle her body like Tyra keeps telling her. But I love to see how she works with Tyra.
Yeah, she seems to take direction very well. She seems to listen to what they're actually saying to her, and it's soaking in a little bit, not just going in one ear, not the other. But
I have to say, I shouldn't just say that about Ray Leah, because I think from, the interviews at the house to the shoots, I mean, a lot of them change a lot, especially Lennox too. So I shouldn't just single Ray Leah out. But
fair enough.
Mariana, I feel like, is the most consistent with her look, from like just how she looks day to day and then when she's on the set. But Mariana really did sell that. But what was going on with her and Keith? She was bossing him around.
Keith he's just not feeling her, and they brought it up earlier in the episode.
Yeah,
he's like, because him and Denzel are boys. He's like, I'm just not feeling Mariana. I don't get it.
Yeah.
And you know what? I don't want to throw anybody under the bus here, but the general consensus I've gotten from the people in the house was that she's kind of playing that villain role right now, but it wasn't that far fetched. It was there was definitely tension there between Mariana and a lot of people in the house.
You know what I feel like happened for her this week? I feel like she set back in the challenge the week before when she had to be the boss.
So she needed to assert herself again.
Yes, because Tyra was saying, "You're not bossy, you're the boss."
Right.
So I think she was trying to okay, I'm going to tell him what to do this time.
But there's a difference between when you're shooting with someone being creative criticism and working together versus just do this, do that. Especially when you have Utsai and the photographer right there.
I thought she was disrespectful.
Very disrespectful.
And there are ways to get things done on a shoot in a way that can still come off nice.
Right.
But you can say, okay, this isn't working. Can we try it another way?
Right.
And there's no problem in telling someone
that. When you're in the creative process, you're feeling it, you're vibing it, you're like, let's do this, let's try this, maybe that. There's, like you said, there's a better way to approach it than what she did, instead of just yelling and being like, yo, do this.
But that doesn't usually fall on the model's shoulders. I feel like they usually, someone will be directing the models through it, and the models can kind of ask questions of the photographer, and there might be like a client there who's there with the product, like the hair product they were selling. Right. So usually the client and the photographer are kind of giving you different notes, and you kind of take that and go with it. But yeah, it's usually not up to the model to kind of be determining.
No, not completely. But again, like you said, there's creative freedom there to work with it.
But she took a little bit too many liberties.
She did, and I'm glad that they stepped in and said something.
I mean, that's what they made it look like. It might have been different in real life, but it really looked intense.
It did look intense.
So, but with all that said, they managed to create a beautiful photo.
Still got a good shot, yeah.
And Tyra said that Mariana was modeling H to B, head to boobs. And she didn't. All her little terms cracked me up.
Wow.
But, I mean, yes, Tyra, yes. That being said, what was she really supposed to do with her hips and her feet in that position?
Right.
I don't think she really had an opportunity to do much else with this. I mean, the fact that she looked so natural in her face with what was really happening, and that Keith was able to keep his face so strong when he was literally like carrying a person.
Yeah, that had to be tough.
It's not the easiest, but as long as you can control your facial expressions, then you can really do any kind of picture. But then we have...
we had Shai and Denzel.
So we have Ray Leah and Will.
Right.
Mariana and Keith. Shai and Denzel. Shai and Denzel, again, they had a little bit of trouble at first.
Yeah, but they worked it out. They got it together.
Mm-hmm.
And then Adam and Lennox were last.
Well, I can't get over Denzel's
The beard?
Beard weave. I have hated it from day one.
It's so ridiculous.
It's so like, we just wanted to make you look different, you know?
Right.
Like, make you stand out and have us do something weird to one of the male
Of
models.
course. Yeah, they have to.
And it's like, but he already had a good look to start with.
Right.
Why? It's just for TV.
It is.
But that's one of those things about this show that I'm like, you know, if he really wants to go out there and be a model after the show, he's not going to be able to use these beard pictures.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, they're good. Oh, so Denzel, I feel for you with this beard weave, and I just, I
feel like he's trying. You know, he's...
but he managed to sell it.
Yeah.
But at least he didn't have to wear it in the panel anymore.
Right,
the judging,
they
because
started taking it off.
Irritating his face.
So, no, they got a decent shot, and then Adam and Lennox had a pretty decent shot as well.
You know, Adam and Lennox. I was trying to get Lennox to stay up on Adam's shoulders and not move, but I understand, like, you have to jostle your body in such a way. But she was basically, I think why their shot fell flat a little bit for me was the way Adam was carrying her. It was like a piggyback ride.
It was. Somebody made the comment. It was like they're like figure skaters, and it really the outfits and the way they were posed, they did kind of look like figure skaters.
I think that's why it looked so awkward. I think if she were on him in a different way, but again, I don't know about this whole concept. I mean, the whole guy carrying the girl.
Like I said, they got to make it interesting.
It's an interesting shoot for the TV show, but if you're going to try and sell the hair products, it's distracting from what the hair products are doing, I feel.
Right. I mean, she's still got a nice hair whip going there.
Yeah. Well, she...
Working those long locks.
I think if you were going to sell the hair products, you wouldn't necessarily... I mean, it depends on what they want to do with the ad, but I feel like you don't really need the guy. If it's about that hair whip with Lennox's hair, you can have her by herself, and then the next page have the guy. You don't have to have it like all in one page, unless you only have one page
for television.
Unless you only are buying one page in the magazine, then you have to have it all. On page. So okay, I digress. But then so they get to the judging panel, and what did you think about that?
The panel's fine, yeah.
Well,
what do you mean?
Meaning, I don't always think that they pick the best picture.
Well, yeah, of course not. Come on.
I know we say this every time, so maybe it's getting a little old. But I think that they say, oh, this is your best photo this week.
Again, I'll just say we never see the photos ever until they're put up on the screen. So
you guys have to trust them.
Right. Again, they'll swear up and down, listen, this is your best photo. This is your best photo. I'm just saying, you know in your heart sometimes when you see something, you're like, I know I had a better frame.
Well, you know that you had a better frame, but maybe the flash didn't fire. When you were shooting or something. You were doing it.
Like you said, again, we don't see him, so we don't know.
I want to go back and look at all these photos from all the shoots and click through. But, so we get to the judging, and the best photo this week goes to...
Will! Will finally wins the best photo. He was knocking on the door there.
He finally gets the best photo. And then, was it Ray Leah that was next? Second best? Yes, it was Ray Leah.
Was it?
In the same picture. Best and best. And then they go down the list, and we're left with Lennox and Denzel in the bottom two.
Bum, bum, bum.
And when they show their scores up on the TV and they go next to each other, I'm just like, please let Lennox stay on the show.
They weren't going to get rid of Lennox. Come on.
I was so worried because she's one of my favorites. And Denzel,
I will say, I called Matthew the week before, and I called Denzel this week.
You did?
I called it. I just got that vibe that it was kind of his time. I was getting the vibe.
Well, with Matt last week, the picture came off a little Zoolander.
A little bit, yeah. Again,
very, like Kelly said, kind of cheesy.
Yeah.
But I'm like, he probably wasn't that cheesy in every picture.
That's right.
But
right.
But they put that up when they want to send the person home.
Right.
It's kind of like, but then not only is Denzel sent home, but they come right back in.
Well, they bring some food out, which I thought was such a bizarre way to introduce where they're going.
Like, Tyra, what's going on? Are they going to like South Carolina?
Right. Yeah, we're gonna have some soul food.
What's happening here? I mean, I know that everybody enjoys a good meal, but what's going on?
If I'm gonna cheat, I cheat with some biscuits and gravy. I love me some soul food. It's delicious. Fried chicken, cauliflower, collard greens. Oh, I love it.
Macaroni
I'm from Pennsylvania
and
I love it.
Yeah, it is good.
It.
Yes,
it's good stuff. Don't worry.
Sinful.
Soul food is amazing, but
not when you're trying to. Not when you're in the.
We're
middle
going
of
to
doing...
Seoul, Korea.
What? Like Seoul and Seoul? Yes.
Yeah, it was kind of cheesy,
but
okay,
whatever.
Tyra. So we're going to Seoul.
Yes, Seoul, Korea, and I'm like, okay, they're sending everyone to Korea right now in the world. It's kind of like a crazy time to go to Korea, but okay.
They have people doing their investigational work there.
Okay.
You're safe. You're safe.
Okay. Well, yeah, I guess it depends if it's now. I have to do my geography lesson. Is Seoul in North Korea or South Korea?
South Korea.
South.
Okay, thank you. I
know my geography. Yeah, it's South Korea.
I apparently don't.
North Korea is the bad Korea.
Okay.
Right.
The bad Korea. Oh, I'm afraid to say that. I'm afraid what's gonna happen to me.
We're not on like Fox News. Just like, you're not gonna get grilled here.
Oh no. Okay. Well. And then they bring back everybody that was previously eliminated. Except for Romeo.
He's gone. He's gone.
Out.
Violence, no good.
No.
I actually thought it was a little early for the comeback.
I thought so too.
I figured at least another episode or two.
I was like, wait. I thought that maybe they would have more people in that mix to come back.
Right.
But Chantel is the top girl.
Well, they break it up.
Back.
They do girls and then they have guys.
Yes. So Chantel is the best girl, according to the votes.
Right.
And they've done every photo shoot along with everyone else.
Right. You're there. You're on set when they're doing it. You just don't see them. So you're shooting every set. So it was Ivy.
And oh my gosh, her name.
Kari.
Yes, Kari.
Chantel. Was that it for the girls?
It was just the three.
It was the three. Okay. And then for the guys, you had Ben, Matthew,
Denzel.
And Denzel. Well, Romeo would have been there, but he was gone.
Yes. And Ben was the top guy.
Right. So they chose Chantel and Ben.
And then they made it seem like, but wait, we only have one ticket.
Right. Which is a lie altogether because everybody goes. But.
Yeah. Everyone goes, but only one more person's going to be like in that one house with the one group of people.
Right. So we get left. It's a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Cliffhanger.
So they make us wait until next week to see who that final ticket goes to Seoul, Korea for the competition.
So I guess we got to do predictions now. It's actually a double prediction.
Now, your AFTERBUZZ TV.
So let's predict who's coming back out of the Chantel and Ben, and then who's going to get eliminated.
Well, I feel like Tyra wants Chantel to come back. I think that's what's going to happen because Chantel is so beautiful, and she has this cool vitiligo thing going on that I think is really unique, and I think there needs to be a model out there with that. And she actually got a Desigual campaign.
She did.
And
very
so it's
impressive.
like, oh, okay, this can happen in fashion, and it should.
Yeah.
And she should be there. So I really think she should be back in the competition. But maybe it's going to come down to who is more dramatic in the house. So I don't know. Ben could be in there too. Ben's a good model as well. But I think Chantel, she might have more to offer in the next couple of challenges. I don't know.
Okay.
We're going to see what they need. Isn't it based on the social media votes anyway?
It is. It's based on social media votes.
And the producer.
Right.
Just saying.
Right.
Ken Mock.
Love you guys.
And then I think the next person to actually be eliminated in the next episode, it could be, this is a tough one. I think, well, Mariana has been in the bottom, and also Adam has been in the bottom a couple times, so it might be between the two of them.
Okay. I think we're on the same page here. I'm definitely going to go with Chantel.
Tomato. She's beautiful.
I just feel I feel she left too early.
Yes,
so
I agree.
I think she's come back. Ben, I love you, Ben, but I don't think he's gonna make it here. So I believe she's gonna come back. And then as far as who gets cut, I'm feeling Adam. You're my boy. I love you, Adam. I feel Adam's gonna go, or maybe even Raylia. I feel they might throw a Raylia in there.
It just depends on what the next challenge is about.
Well, it's gonna be in Korea, South Korea.
Yes.
Seoul, South Korea. We're gonna find out.
We've got Seoul in Seoul, Korea.
Seoul, baby.
Okay, where can everybody find you online, Mike?
Oh, guys, you can find me Mike Scocozza, Scocozza, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, the works.
ZZ Top.
ZZ Top.
The double Z's. You guys can find me, Amanda Fields, on Instagram and Twitter at The Runway Queen. And we'll see you guys next week to talk more Top Model.
Yeah.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.